Welcome back to episode 4 of the Night Shift podcast. I'm your host, Brian Markley, at $Sign on Twitter. It's going to sound worse than the last 2 episodes. We've got to, again, makeshift, and everybody's on different sides of me. So normally I go to Jordan first. So on my left, the boy, Jordan Wakefield.
How are we doing, everybody? It's at jwakefield98. I got it right this
He
time.
got it.
I already knew you were right.
He finally got it. I thought you were going to fuck it up again like you do every other week.
Listen, next week I'll probably fuck it up, so it doesn't matter.
We've only been doing it for 4 weeks, so I guess it's not like every other week.
Like I was saying to you, I don't give people my Twitter handle all the time.
He still fucked it up.
It's whatever. It's all
And
good.
then we got Bailey Gary on my right.
You can find me at bgary24 on Twitter, capital B, capital G.
And we are the Night Shift. Yeah, episode 4. How are we feeling today? Everybody doing all right?
Pretty good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Okay, I'm pretty good too. Nothing. Everybody good? Nothing crazy. Mental good.
I mean, I had to deal with work today, so I mean, mental's about as good as it can be.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you know, that's when we say good. That's about what we mean.
Right.
That's the limit of good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are going to sound a little worse than we did the last 2 weeks, just because we have a little change of location again. So we probably should sound like episode 1. Maybe a little bit better.
It's going to sound better than episode 1.
Maybe better than episode 1, but it is going to sound a little echoey, a little whatever, but not much we can do about that. But yeah, sorry about we didn't get episode 3 up on time on YouTube because Bailey forgot how to use iMovie for...
That's not exactly the truth.
Well, it was because you tried to upload an audio file and not without the picture, and it's alright. And we tried to get video up.
I mean, it wasn't just only that, but...
Well, we tried to get the video. Let's address the video because that was... If you listen to episode 3, we said we had video, which we did. I have the video on my phone. We have it on our computers. Excuse me. But we tried to sync it up in iMovie with the audio that we recorded from the microphone. And I had it right for like the first 8 minutes. And then everything else was fucked from that. So we decided, let's just upload the audio that we have. And we'll figure out the video as we go. We're not going to have it for this one.
Next week, maybe.
Hopefully. We got to do more research, though. And we have to take time. It's going to take time. So we have to figure out how we want to do that outside of Mondays, but yeah, so we're gonna sound a little bit worse. Video's still a work in process. What else do I got? I wanted to say something else. Oh, we're on Spotify. Night Shift on Spotify. We're working on iTunes. That should, I would think by next week we should be on Apple Podcasts, but
it says
until
it takes up to 24 hours, and
it's been like 72 or something like that. So we tried to verify it on Friday, and then it's Monday. So I don't know. I'm not sure what the holdup is there per se, but hopefully we'll be on Apple Podcasts. We're still on SoundCloud. We're still on YouTube. I think that's the 4 platforms we're going to roll with. I don't think we need to do much more outside of that. I don't think many people are using like Google Podcasts and whatnot. I think Spotify, iTunes, and all that.
It's also on Buzzsprout, so we have 10 downloads off of that. So
shout out if you downloaded.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would download us, but hey, I appreciate you anyway. And then I want to say episode 2 had some good views. What, like 40 some views on?
It was
YouTube?
like 44 on YouTube, which is more than I expected.
I mean, that might be some of us viewing it too, but like that's a decent number.
To the people that are listening, thank you regardless, whether it's friends, it's not friends.
Just friends, family, and others. One old Taco Bell employee used to say. So let's get into it. What are we listening to? Jordan, what are you listening to?
We talked about it. We were listening to a little bit on Friday when we were here together. Black.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's super good. Spillage Village member. He was on... Well, he wasn't on End of Days, which I think
He'll be on that album.
Yeah.
But he was on that song.
He has a EP dropping potentially Wednesday, but maybe sometime this week, hopefully. We might discuss that next Monday if we get to it.
If he drops, I want to talk about that for sure.
Actually, just Spillage Village in general, Jid, Earth Gang, Black, some of the lower artists too. They're all really good. The usuals too, obviously. Mm-hmm. The Future album I was telling you about too.
Oh, that's right. You went back and listened to it finally.
That Future album is really, really, really good.
He's talking about High Off Life, the newer one.
Sorry. Should have specified that, but yeah, it's
because there's a lot of Future albums.
Right, the newest, High Off Life, but it's super, super good. We'll have a Future episode sometime. We'll get more in his discography.
Yeah, because Future drops a lot, so
yeah.
He's always a topic of conversation.
Probably get another album maybe this year, or
potentially,
whatever you want to call it.
So Future and Black,
yeah,
kind of with the mixture of an interesting headspace.
Yeah, it's really opposites of the
opposites of the spectrum. Both Atlanta though.
Yeah, right. Both Atlanta. Right.
So.
Both Atlanta.
Cool. I guess before we ask Bailey what he's been listening to, I want to make it clear that this doesn't have to just be what we're listening to. If you guys are playing something, watching something, reading something, I haven't read a book in a while, but if you do get a good book, whatever, I'm not going to judge, but obviously, well, Bailey, go ahead. What have you been listening, watching, playing besides Last of Us 2, which we've all been playing?
Yeah, I've been playing The Last of Us.
No, you beat The Last of Us.
Yeah, okay, so
like a madman.
I beat The Last of Us. I haven't really played anything else. I haven't really been watching anything either. Honestly, like ever since I beat The Last of Us, like I just haven't really been.
You kind of just cooled.
Yeah, I've just been
took it all in and then just kind of
see what other people are
see
what other people are saying about it. Music wise, nothing like in particular, just kind of like the usual rotation, like some UK music, some non-UK music, just my playlist pretty much right now.
Yeah, I obviously been playing Last of Us 2. Jordan has it also. I should have said that before we got into it. We're going to talk about that. Our plan is to talk about that next week because we should have all beaten it by next week. I think I'm getting close to the end of the game, and Jordan and I are about at the same part, and Bailey has beaten it. So I think we're getting close to the end. We'll talk about that because we already have talked about it a little bit, and we have differing opinions. So we want to see it. I want to see it. Jordan and I will see it the rest of the way through, and then really we'll get into it next week. We'll spoil it next week. So if you want to listen to our thoughts, try to, if you have the game and you're playing it, try to beat it by next week so that we can kind of listen to our thoughts and discuss it with us and hear what we have to say about it.
If not, we'll probably just make it the last segment.
Yeah, it'll be at the end, and we'll give plenty of heads up where it is so you don't get it spoiled for you. So I've been listening to, like Jordan, the normal, your Drake, your playlist, kind of like Bailey was saying too. I listened to a lot of Anderson .Paak too. He released a new song. I think it was called Lockdown. Talking about everything that's going on, COVID and social injustice and protests and everything. And I really like that song. I forgot how much I liked him. Like, he's super talented. Like, and he makes music for like his music is so nice to listen to in the car. Like, if it's a nice evening out, it's not nice. It's gonna storm here soon. But I really like him. He's super talented, and he's a little bit different from our taste, I would say. I mean, he's still associated with hip hop, and he still raps, but he's more of like, I would say he's like soul. Yeah. More definitely. Soul / jazz / with hip hop sprinkled in, which I really like him.
It's a weird blend. He's really good. I think he's kind of underrated. And
I always, often, not to interrupt you, but I was just thinking about this the other night. I'm like, if I were black, I'd look like Anderson .Paak.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, now I'm trying to sit here and picture like your face.
Go Google Anderson .Paak.
I know what he looks like.
Okay, well that'd be what I'd look like.
Maybe.
I don't look like that. I don't look like that at all. Beard. But yeah, Anderson .Paak. I've been listening to his new stuff. I don't think I'm really listening to anything else. I'm not really playing anything else. I was playing God of War until Last of Us came out, and I just couldn't get back to it yet. I will once I beat Last of Us, so hopefully by the end of the week I'll have Last of Us and God of War done, which would be a pretty good week.
Yeah, I need to finish Persona 5. I'm like close. I think I'm like 60 hours into it.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, I've just been kind of latching onto artists each week as we go into this. I think one week was Frank Ocean, and then I don't know what I was listening to.
You're on that big Tyler kick 1 week.
Yeah, I think I was
for a few weeks.
I think I was in the Frank Ocean part there. I was listening to those two a lot.
Yeah.
But Anderson .Paak's one of those guys I want to see live.
Yeah.
Like, same. I just think he'd be really.
He would have to go with the right people though, because I don't know if I'd want to see him as like the main headliner. But if he was with somebody else potentially that I'd want to see, then I would definitely.
He'd be cool to see in like a small environment.
Yeah.
Like maybe a little bit bigger than what we saw Earthgang in, but smaller than like an arena tour.
Well, and that would be really good for him too, because the people that are going to that concert are going to be the people that are really like vibing with his music. When you go, I'm not saying that this is bad, but like if you go to like a Drake concert or you go to a Future concert or something like that, there are people there that are really just there because.
Well, and they could be there because it's a date or just with a group of friends.
Exactly.
Like, you go to the smaller environments or the smaller venues, like you're going because you want to see those guys.
Yeah.
Like Earthgang, we saw it.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knew the songs, and you
right.
know, so
everybody was really like, you could tell, like you could look from front to back, side to side, like everybody was really
was into it. So yeah, that's what I've been listening to. I haven't ventured too far out of my comfort zone. So the first topic we have this week is sticking with the sports theme, but not the sports that you may think of, based off of what we've been talking about the past couple episodes. The Premier League was back. We didn't really say that we're all three pretty big soccer fans, especially Premier League fans. Myself and Jordan are United fans, Manchester United, and Bailey's a Tottenham Hotspur fan. We actually faced each other on Friday, first match back. And I'm really happy that the Premier League's back.
Yeah.
I was excited with Bundesliga being back. The Bundesliga is the German soccer league, the top flight German soccer league. I know La Liga, which is the Spanish one, came back too, but Premier League to me is still the biggest league in the world, popularity and competition wise. I think it has. We talked about it on Friday a little bit, but the following in the U.S. in the States here has grown tremendously too, and I think that's a credit to NBCSN. They've been doing a great job covering the sport and making it accessible to us here in the States. You can you can turn it on Saturday or Sundays normally on a normal schedule, and you're going to see a match.
Even a weekday match.
Especially now with the COVID schedule and how everything's so compact.
Pretty much every game will be covered.
But yeah, go ahead.
They're really trying to make soccer, I wouldn't say popular, but they're really trying to, for the people that enjoy watching soccer, they're really trying to give people that opportunity to watch it, because Premier League, you just have to sign in with your cable provider and you can just basically
or if you have cable, you just turn on NBCS, and even NBC will have one game.
Yeah,
it's usually the prime time game.
Yeah, the noon kickoff is if it's for lack of a better, this Tottenham and United game any other week would probably be a noon kickoff.
Yeah, it would
probably be.
Yeah, depending on the schedule.
How you guys feeling with the Premier League being back? From what we saw, I think I'll give my thoughts real quick. No fans is really weird for soccer in particular, but again,
cause I think for soccer it's the fans in soccer are more important than any other sport. They make the atmosphere.
I was gonna say I'll talk about that after you're done, because I was the
soccer. Go ahead.
Well, being the soccer player and playing in I wouldn't say small arenas, but playing in an area where you have 100 maybe plus fans, or not fans, they're parents and stuff like that, but still they're fans. The energy that the crowd brings can really be a momentum swing in either direction. So not hearing the fans in a soccer game and hearing them talk is very, I don't know the word for it. Well, it's different, but it's very
it's unusual.
Very unusual. That's a pretty good word for it. It's unusual to actually hear what the players are saying and not the hype from the crowd. If one
singing, the chants,
one side is going either way. It's weird not seeing that.
Yeah, I mean because I remember when just watching Spurs games this year. I don't know about you guys when you watch United matches, but I would always just sitting there waiting for the game to come on, just when the players walk out and when the fans are singing,
the atmosphere.
When the Spurs come marching in and come on you Spurs, the whole game, you
the
get chills.
The atmosphere of soccer, even the same for Liverpool. Fuck Liverpool, but
when the whole stadium sing,
that's enough to give you chills. I think that's one of the coolest things about soccer is the atmosphere and how much the fan U.S. sports fans are diehard, NFL fans, but it's different. It's totally
especially in South
different.
America. South America's crazy.
Well, and not even just club football. And yes, I'm going to call it football. Club football is big, but national football, national teams, the crowd that means everything. To them.
There are some people especially in third world countries that all they do is live and breathe soccer. Mm-hmm. So that's literally everything to them. So the passion that they get behind, you see the people crying, just fans just crying on TV.
Even the players.
Yeah.
I mean, it means so much to them. And even though the clubs that are in a relegation battle, stadium's still sold out. Yep. Crowds always, unless there's some political nonsense behind the club, like the owners are fucking the club or something like that. You'll see like a
West Ham
walkout.
this year.
Correct. You'll see something like that, but it just shows that they care so much. You know what I mean? So not having fans, and I saw I think it was Bruno. Bruno Fernandes, midfielder for United, was saying about how like they were getting tired at the end of the game, at the end of the match, and not having the crowd there to give them that extra boost that they needed to maybe go for a winning goal wasn't there. So that also pays attention to what Jordan was saying about how it affects the players too. So I mean, other than I'm looking at Bailey's got the results here. The United and Tottenham game ended in a draw. I thought it was a solid game. I think it was pretty. You could tell nobody's played like a competitive.
You can tell Harry Kane hadn't played for 6 months because
he was playing so deep.
No, well that too, but I'm also like I know I'm just saying, but like you could tell like he still needs to get back into it.
Same with Rashford and Pogba.
Well, and that's such a huge. I mean, I can relate to somewhat. That's such a huge time to just not be playing.
Well, yeah, because he was injured too.
Well, but not only that, just for the players that what was it like 3 months? I don't say 30. 3 months that they weren't playing.
It was 100 some days, so yeah,
almost 4 months.
I think it was actually like 100 days since the Premier League.
The fitness that you lose in 4 months is a lot. So trying to build that all back up in a short time to be able to be playing in 100 minutes at least is difficult. Very, very difficult, and that puts a lot of strain.
Well, not only that, but like not being able to fully train together as a squad. Yep. The chemistry is lacking there a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell just from certain passes or decisions, it was like.
And it's going to be you expect that. I think I was relatively happy with the United result. I don't know how you feel as a Tottenham fan, but it being that's a tough. Not that an away match matters right now. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there's no fans per se, so I don't know what the away match makes it tougher, but I was pretty happy with the 1-1 draw. I'll give my end from a United fan if you want to chime in too, Jordan, and then we'll let Bailey talk from his end, and then we'll kind of go quickly through the other results. But things I was happy with, I thought Rashford looked good coming back from his injury. Him and Harry Kane kind of had the similar, not like the similar injury, but they had the similar like time out due to injury, which sucks because I love both of them. Bailey knows Harry Kane's one of my favorite players, and it's kind of been a meme for me in FIFA. Like, I always have Harry Kane as my striker because it's kind of a joke, but I hit bangers with him. So Bruno looks good. He scored the pen. But Pogba, man, he came on at, I think it was the 60th minute.
63rd.
And won a pen in, like, not much longer
10
after.
minutes. And he looked amazing. Just
for him being not playing with the squad for a while, or training with the squad and being hurt, you could tell he was that jolt. Like, he got on the pitch
and Twitter was going off about it a little bit too. That pass that he made in the what was it, like the 80?
It was close to the end, but why you passed to Rashford?
The
half
80th minute, that half volley from like midfield, that slotted ball through to Rashford is the skill that takes to do, and especially because him not playing a while and being able to just come back and do something like that is really, really
Rashford
impressive.
had a nice touch, just got away from him a little bit.
Well, something like that's hard to control too, because when you're running and that coming over the top of you, it's super hard to try and control.
I couldn't imagine trying to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the defense a little shaky. Maguire got absolutely destroyed.
He got social distance by very
He did get social distance, but yeah, that wasn't good to see. And De Gea left. I wouldn't say it was an easy goal, but it's a save he probably should have made.
It's a save he makes, but again, like I was watching some analytics about the game. Lindelof, who was the other central defensive player, he never should have been that far away in the first place. He should have been covering that gap to begin with.
And maybe that pays a testament. I mean, Lindelof and Maguire's played together for a while as a pairing throughout the season, but again, just not playing.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and talk.
I just want to say I
don't have anything else to say.
Some United fan, I'm pretty sure it was, made like a whole like two minute and some second compilation of just Maguire getting dusted, and it was one of the, because he's 80 million pounds, which is
sure, but he's been solid.
He's been good for us. He's been good for us.
It's just funny because
his biggest problem is I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'll let you talk then about the Spurs. His size is his downfall because he has no. If he gets burnt on like a corner or something like that, he doesn't.
Really recover.
You're not recovering because he's just too slow.
Yeah.
But
But he's a big body. So.
But when it comes to like defensive headers and stuff like that, he's winning almost all of them because of his size. So you kind of got to take that trade off.
Yeah.
For how it is. But go ahead, Bill. You can talk.
No, I mean you could tell Spurs did not look like totally. Well, both teams didn't look like fully back. I thought Dyer had a really good game, and like he was up until the penalty, which is funny because Spurs fans hate Eric Dyer now. After injury.
He'll get flamed for that penalty, but people will forget that Martial shot that he had.
Oh yeah,
he's
blocked
the one who blocked it. That could have been 2-1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So he gave one away, but he also saved one.
And Baez probably it looked a little shoulder to shoulder, but like it wasn't enough.
I think he shoved him in the back.
No, it looked like it was like back shoulders. So it was definitely what I probably called it a penalty if I was the ref. Yeah, probably it may have been a little soft, but like also I'm not shocked that he called it. And it wasn't like a big enough mistake for VAR to overturn it.
And that one wasn't as bad as the other one they wanted to call.
Yeah, the other one the ref wanted to call. That was ridiculous. That was nowhere near a penalty. Literally, Bruno runs into Dyer and he wants to call it a penalty. Like that would have been ridiculous.
I want to touch on that real quick. That's super hard for a ref, especially in soccer, to make that decision because you're the only person out there and you have to watch.
Well, you have your assistants.
Yeah, but they're not.
Okay, but even if an assistant if an assistant goes, hey, I think that's a foul, the ref can be like, no, I don't think that's a foul.
Gets the final decision.
So he still gets the final decision. So it's super hard to make that decision. And stuff like that, especially like the one you're talking about, it's not a penalty. But when it's that late in the game, like you have to call it.
You talking about the Bruno one?
Yeah, the Bruno one. You have to at least call that because if you don't call that.
Well, now that you have the backup of VAR, you can kind of fall. Even though VAR is still not the best.
No, absolutely not. It's helped in certain situations, and it's been very bad in certain situations. But I think the ref did a pretty good job calling. I think he was a little light on some yellows for both sides.
Eric Lamela should have got a yellow.
He should have got yellow right away.
Well, and just both sides. I think he was pretty light on both sides. I think there are some pretty.
Except Dan James. Dan James hacked. I think it was Dyer again, and then he instantly got.
Yeah, I think it was, but just there's a couple of other things that I think could have been just maybe a little bit more cautionable offenses, but I think he did a pretty good job just refereeing the whole game.
Ref's first game back too.
Sure.
So
absolutely.
Obviously, I wanted the 3 points. It's a 1-1 draw in the end. I'll take a point. I think honestly Spurs don't have too many hard games left, so getting a draw against United.
It's a good time to play each other, honestly.
Yeah.
Both of us coming out of there with 1 point is pretty good because
I thought it was a fair result too. I don't think any team was. I thought United we dominated kind of the first half.
Well, we
just couldn't get a chance.
We also played a low block, which is United's downfall this whole season.
We dominated possession, but possession doesn't.
Just that.
Exactly, possession doesn't matter.
We dominated possession, but possession doesn't mean anything if you don't get the ball in the back of the net. You could have 99-1, but if that 1% is them scoring, it doesn't matter.
That's been our problem.
Yep.
So when we get Jadon Sancho, it won't be a problem anymore.
Hopefully.
Everything will be wonderful.
Hopefully.
You have anything else to say about how Spurs played? Or?
No, I think Spurs played fine. Do you guys want to talk about the other fixtures?
Yeah, there's some.
The only one that I really care about is what game was it that was the VAR just absolute blunder. That was the
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, yeah. So for those who haven't seen it, you can look it up.
Clear and obvious goal.
Ball goes in the net. The ball is clearly for it to be a goal. The ball clearly has to cross the white line. Fully.
Who would have scored the goal? Would have been in Sheffield.
It would have been.
I'm glad they didn't call it because you beat both.
I think it would have been a Sheffield goal.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it would have been.
Yeah, because Dean Henderson's playing for Sheffield and he's out on loan from United. So of course it wouldn't be him because he's a god. He's the next. He's seriously like, people want him.
No, I know.
They want him to take over De Gea now.
Oh, I know.
Which I wouldn't be mad at, but sorry.
No, that's okay. I mean, you're allowed to talk. The ball clearly crosses the line, and the ref. I don't think he called it a goal.
He didn't.
No, and VAR didn't call it a goal.
They did goal line technology.
It went to VAR, and you can clearly see, like, there's a picture. It's all over the place. If you look at any soccer Twitter account, the ball was clearly over the line. The goalie has the ball, and he is over the line, and they just didn't call it a goal.
Yeah,
and that's a huge momentum swing. Mm-hmm. That cost them 2 points there because you figured they went out. I think with a 1-1. They weighed him out with a point.
And it was a 0-0 draw. No.
Well, they went out to the point, but you figured you're losing 2 points right there because of wind.
Sheffield should have had the 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
City versus Arsenal.
Arsenal's still a fucking joke. All right, that's all I gotta say about Arsenal.
Yeah, City smashed them. Southampton smashed. Norwich was expected. Leicester 1-1 drawed with Watford. I think you expect Leicester to win that game, but they're still third, so I don't think they're
both like. I think they're both okay teams. Like they have some.
Yeah, I mean Leicester's third. Right
Leicester
now.
And
Watford's terrible. They're 16th.
Yeah, but the thing is,
but Watford's always going to give you a match.
Right, that's what I mean. Watford's players are not bad.
They
it's
got
just
they have some good players.
I don't like Watford.
They just don't put the. They have the same problem United has. They just don't put the ball in the back of that.
Except Watford's like they don't pay players nearly as much as we do.
Another good point.
West Ham lost 2-0 to Wolves. Expected. Wolves is really good. Crystal Palace 2-0 Bournemouth. No one cares about two bottom feeders. Here's two other bottom feeders that I want to talk about. Brighton versus Arsenal. So
he had to get that one.
Yeah, I just had to.
That one. That match is hilarious.
This was one of the funniest games I've ever watched.
I don't think
This is the one where Leno got hurt.
I don't even understand why. And then he got carted off when he was yelling. I think the guy's name was like Mumpai or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I don't really think it was his. Did you see the injury?
I did not.
So what happens is like they play an over the top ball for Mumpai to race onto, and it ends up in the goalkeeper's territory. He goes to jump up and grab it, but Mumpai jumps up with him to go get it, and he like bumps into him.
So it's like a 50-50 ball.
Yeah, and he falls over, and I guess I don't know what he did, but he hurt himself. So they stretched him off. And as Leno is getting stretched off, he just like sits up and just points at Mumpai and starts yelling at him. And then Mumpai is just like this. Eventually, Pepe, for how trash he may have been this year, he scored a banger. He scored an absolute banger.
Which is so weird because Pepe is actually not a bad.
No, he's good in French.
Awful for them.
In French,
it's hilarious. Like, isn't he the club record spender? Like
he was really expensive.
Yeah,
he was like 80.
And then he's like coming off the bench. I just think it's funny.
No, yeah. So I mean, that was funny. After they scored that goal, Lewis, I think his name was Lewis Dunk. I didn't know his last name was Dunk.
It's a hell of a last name.
Yeah, he scored like a tap in off of I think it was Rob Holding, and then which leveled the game. And then in the dying embers of the game, Mumpai, I'm pretty sure like chipped over the backup goalkeeper like the 94th minute.
It's like the 93rd minute.
And it was called after that. Brighton won. All the Arsenal players are upset. I know his name now. It's like literally he was the only African American player in the starting 11 for
What do you mean? They all had Black Lives Matter.
No, but he's the only African American player in Brighton's lineup. It's Basum. I don't know how you say it. His name is Yves Basuma. He's from.
Yeah, you got that.
Yeah. I think it's close enough. That was the guy in the video of when all the players were depressed and he's just walking around laughing. That was him.
I
That's
saw
him.
that.
That is
okay.
him. And then Mumpai he doubled down on the fact that he gives zero fucks.
Did you see this post-match interview?
Did you see his interview?
Mm-mm.
Bro, he literally so he said when they went up 1-0, he said when Arsenal went up 1-0, they were all talking, but when the game was 2-1, they were not saying anything. He was like, they need to show a little more humility.
He literally said they got what they deserved. Like,
yeah,
straight up.
So,
that's
respect. Sick. That's like
so,
a fucking life motto, right?
Yeah.
There.
So Daniel Levy, if you're listening, Spurs need a backup striker. Look at the Frenchman Mumpai.
Imagine if one of our 46 views on episode 2 was Daniel Levy, the
bald head
chairman of fucking Tottenham.
Well, if you're
Hotspur.
also winning, spend some peas this summer, you fuck.
If you're also listening, can I get a Harry Kane autograph?
Can I get a Harry Kane jersey?
Because he'll be a future United player. So,
no, he won't.
So yeah, Premier League. If you're looking to get into soccer, like now's the perfect time
because there's nothing else to watch.
Matches, just back to back to back, or playing a whole bunch of matches in a very short span of time. They're on like every day.
It is going to be hard to get into because
it's the middle of the season.
Well, it's the middle of the season, and players are not going to be playing their best soccer, and it is hard to sit and watch an hour of just guys just kicking a ball back and forth. But
sure.
There's a lot of technique and stuff that goes into doing that I think people could appreciate.
But I think they're not being literally any other sports except for like golf, which is I'll watch
UFC,
PGA
so
Tour. I mean, yeah, UFC. But other than that, I mean, soccer's like the one to watch.
Speaking of which, did you see that UFC fight where those two guys the last 10 seconds just started duking it out?
Wait,
did you
was
see
it recent?
That? Yeah, it was,
no, I didn't.
I'm pretty sure it was recent. I don't remember which two fighters it was. Somebody probably knows. But it's coming down to like the last 10 seconds of the round. It's like 14 seconds. And they're coming to the middle of the ring. And the guy just like points down at the ground, which I guess
this might be old because I've seen this before. Was it the kind he had like a, I don't want to say a Jufro, but he was like, he had like kind of like curly hair. Like,
maybe.
What, did he look kind of like Russian?
Maybe. I'm not really sure. I didn't really look at them.
There was a fight earlier this year where it was an undercard fight. It was really good, and at the very end, like they were just like the guy was just like, let's just like duke it out.
Yes,
and they sat there for the last 10 seconds.
That's what they did. Yeah, that might be the fight then. But he literally just like points down at the mat, and they just start going crazy.
That was a while ago, so I don't know if that probably would have been the fight. I mean, maybe it could have happened again recently.
Maybe. I mean, it was on my Twitter feed the other day, so I wasn't entirely sure. But I wasn't sure if you saw it or not.
But yeah, man, Premier League's back. I love the Premier League. Yeah. Like, you know, I loved it before COVID. Mm-hmm. But like, I'm glad that's back. At least gives me something that I'm passionate about to watch.
As like a Spurs fan, I'm specifically excited about this West Ham game. Because they're shite and they're one of our rivals. And
it's a good spot to work on chemistry, and you know.
I mean, in Jose's first game, we 3-0'd them. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure it was 3-0. Or no, they gave up like 2 late goals. It should have been a 3-0. But this is Jose's first game with Lucas Moura, Eric Lamela, Dele Alli, like all of our attackers being healthy. So like our whole starting lineup should be good, besides maybe Tanganga being injured. But we should be all right. And it should be interesting to see how it goes.
Real quick before we move on from the Premier League, United play Sheffield United Wednesday at 1. Which means Dean Henderson, who I was just talking about how we loaned out, is going to turn into a god.
He's going to play. You have a
and
master class.
Yeah, we're going to lose 1-0.
I'm kind of interested to look at the EPL table because I think I need Sheffield to win that match.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
anything else not getting points.
Yeah, I mean, technically we need them to win but they're 2 points ahead of us. So I mean, honestly, I'd rather you guys draw with them.
Okay. Well, I'll take a draw.
We're Chelsea playing.
We're the masters of drawing. So.
Chelsea plays City next.
Well, that's
good. So we need to win this week.
Oh, they actually have a tough run of games. They play City, then Leicester. West Ham's still a rivalry game, so they should probably win that.
Who knows?
They play Watford, then Crystal Palace. Yeah, but they still have Sheffield United.
Crystal Palace is going to be a hard game, dude.
I don't know. Crystal Palace sucks. They have Zaha who doesn't score.
Which is so weird because I know we're going back on this Premier League thing, but Wilfred Zaha is so good. He's so talented, and he just plays in such a shitty team.
It's like the same thing with Yannick Bolasie before he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, you probably have seen it on your Twitter feed. MLB's planning on having a season. We don't have to get into it right now and all the details, but we had breaking news during a podcast, which is pretty cool because usually we fucking miss it and they have to talk about it next week. But they plan on having a season. It was in the commissioner's hands. I'll believe it when I see the actual schedule. That's all I have to say about baseball because I'm irritated by baseball. So going from the Premier League, shifting back into music a little bit. Jordan has a Twitter thing that he showed me right before we did this that Bailey and Jordan both saw that I didn't see, and we're gonna do this real quick. So Jordan, go ahead and read it for me. Make sure you shout out the person.
So
who tweeted.
It's from the Twitter account Strapped. It's at the Strapped, capital S. It says pick one of these options. The first option is J. Cole drops 20 songs with features but doesn't drop again for 4 years. The second one is Kendrick drops tomorrow, but if it's not better than Good Kid, Mad City, it's his last album. And the third one is Kanye drops an album better than My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but it's his last. So I wanted to discuss that a little bit because we're music based. It's like pretty good. Those are all pretty good options.
And we all are fans of those 3 artists. Right. So I know where Bailey's going. Bailey's taking the Kanye option for sure. So it's J. Cole releases a 20 song project with features and then doesn't drop for another 4 years.
Correct.
Kendrick,
if drops tomorrow, so say he would drop Tuesday, it has to be better than Good Kid, Mad City, or he doesn't ever drop music again. Or
that's the most extreme.
Yeah, because
am I correct in saying
that means it has to be. Well,
in my opinion, his second best album.
Yeah, it has to be To Pimp the Butterfly levels.
Which,
if it's better than Good Kid, Mad City,
it could be as good as Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah, it has to be in that range though.
And then the third one is
Okay, so I think I'm gonna go first. I think this is easy. I think it's the Kanye option. I think it's easy because I think if you look at where they are in their careers,
Cole won't drop for another 4 years anyway.
Well, potentially, and the same with Kendrick.
Yeah.
I think if Kanye would make an album somehow better than My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, I don't think I need to hear anything else from him, given what we already have from him. So if he would drop something better than imagine if Kanye's next album is better than My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and he calls it a career.
I mean, it may be the best project.
I think that's easy. Personally, I think that's an easy option.
Yeah, I think I would take 3, but the only problem is that I don't want Kanye to go away.
True, but I think at this point in his career,
he could just go back.
I think that would be a great way to go out. I'm interested to hear Jordan's because you're not a huge. I mean, you like Kanye, but you're not as big of a Kanye fan as Bailey, or I'm not as big a Kanye fan as Bailey, but like if it goes level of Kanye fandom, it goes Bailey, myself, and Jordan. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, definitely.
So what would you go?
So I think what I can say for all of us, it's definitely not 1 because I want to hear more Cole. I don't want a 20 project now and then he doesn't drop.
The features part in there is weird.
Yeah, because he's really not known for...
Because I know he's known for not having features and it's like a joke. But like I don't need features on a Cole project.
I don't either. So
I think
that
one's kind of...
I think that one's off the table. So I was sitting here debating 2 and 3 as those guys talk. And I'm going to take 2 because I easily think that Kendrick can drop something that's as good as Good Kid, Mad City.
Well, to be fair, he hasn't dropped anything significantly worse than Good Kid, Mad City. I don't think Section 80 is as good as Good Kid, Mad City, but I don't think it's like that much worse.
You said Section 80.
Isn't that what it is?
That's before Good Kid, Mad City.
Well, no, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't think it's my point being like it's not like he's made much like there's an album underneath Good Kid, Mad City for sure, but it's not like it's that bad.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm taking Kendrick putting an absolute just banger out there, which I think is coming. I think it's absolutely coming.
I think so too. I mean, Kendrick's consistent as fuck. I mean, I wouldn't say he's only gotten better. It's weird with Kendrick because Good Kid, Mad City is my favorite Kendrick project,
which is I think that's probably all of ours.
No, I think he's
the Pimp to
Butterfly. Oh, is yours the Pimp to Butterfly?
That's my second.
Yeah, the same.
But like, Damn's my third, and Damn's still fantastic.
Yeah.
Section 80 is still fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about Untitled Unmastered.
Section 80 more than Damn.
I wouldn't mad at that.
ADHD, high power.
But go back and listen to Damn.
Well, no, I still like Damn.
And you even got some songs you didn't even say, like Rigor Mortis and all that stuff on there too. Yeah, it's a super solid project. I think it's gone up. I would say it's Untitled Unmastered, and then like what was that other one, like Opposites Attract too, like, but that's technically
that's keep talking, I'll remember it. It's Overly Dedicated.
Overly Dedicated,
yeah.
Which is still like it's okay.
Like I think it's considered a mix.
I think it is a mixtape, which is why I didn't say about it, but
there's still bangers on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Michael Jordan with Q. Oh.
But Untitled Unmastered, obviously, then it definitely goes, Section 80, then it goes up to Good Kid, Mad City, then it goes up to Pimp Butterfly.
Well, what I like about Pimp Butterfly, I don't know if it necessarily goes up, but it's different. It's different and it's still super quality.
Yeah. Sure.
Same thing with Damn. I think Damn's probably his most mainstream project.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's still got the message. It still has the theories.
And the storytelling in that is
there's still a story.
Super good. Super good.
He does that really well. I think it's underrated with Kendrick is his storytelling.
What's Duckworth?
He tells his own story on Good Kid, Mad City so well. Mm-hmm. He tells the story of the black man on To Pimp Butterfly, and then on Damn, which
his own personal.
I just had a transition. Unless you guys have anything else to say about this.
No, I don't have anything.
That was fun. We're going to talk about the story of the black man that Kendrick has been saying in his music.
Good point.
And our next topic. I guess you could call it the topic of the show. It's not going to be...
I did actually want to say one thing. I'm sorry. So I figured since...
The man just fucked up my
whole transition. Just killed it.
Yeah.
It's alright.
Because I didn't want to jump off the Twitter topic. I thought we could talk about what you sent yesterday.
Yeah, I see you have a
poll. Yeah.
So it says, pick one of these Cole feature bundles. It's name is Mavi with a Logic logo. So it's the first feature bundle of J. Cole. It's A Lot, Pretty Little Fears, OSOM, and Off D's.
So A Lot by 21 Savage.
Yep.
Pretty Little Fears, Black.
Yep.
Out of Sight, Out of Mind, J. Rock and Cole, and Off these Jid and Cole.
Yeah, and then the second package is Jemiah's interlude. Jermaine's. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why. I was talking to you earlier about that.
I think you said that earlier too. I didn't even pick up on that. Yeah,
that's a great song though.
I don't even remember it. To be
Jermaine.
honest.
That's the one. That's the one that has the Spillage Village song. Can't call it.
Yeah.
That's
it's super good.
But it's just Earth Gang on the hook and then Cole's verse and then that's it. That's one he says about planning about retiring.
Yeah. And then it's the Knock the Hustle remix with Kaz, Boblo Boat with Rista 5'9", and Night Job with J. Cole.
And Boz.
Yeah, I don't know if I said J. Cole.
Okay, so here's how I saw this when I woke up in the middle of the night, but I didn't look at it much. Can you hit the X on your Twitter? I want to see them side by side. So I'm comparing these. I'm going to match them up. So I'm going to go straight across. So A Lot versus Jermaine's Interlude. I love A Lot. It's one of my favorite 21 Savage songs. It's one of my favorite Cole verses.
I was going to say
I'm going A Lot on that one.
Same.
I'm going. What about you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So before we get into this, Jordan said he picked side one, which is A Lot, Pretty Little Fears, Out of Sight, Out of Mind, and Off These, and he didn't think it was close. Bailey also, I think
I'm taking one, but I still don't know because
But you think it's closer?
Yeah, because I honestly think my favorite feature off of all 8 of these is Night Job. I think that's
one of your favorite Boz songs, and you like Boz a lot.
Yeah, I think that might be my favorite Cole feature.
So I'm going.
Knock the Hustle, in my opinion, is better than Pretty Little Fears. Cole verse wise,
I like Pretty Little. Well,
you've never listened to Knock the Hustle, have you?
No, I don't need to.
Exactly.
I don't need to.
So, are you guys going off of the song, or are you going off of just the
feature?
Cole
verse?
I was personally just going off. Well, see, I was going off the song. I was going off of how the whole song.
Because I think if I'm going off the song, I think I'm going one. I don't think it's close.
And that's why I said it wasn't close. But if you go off of just the feature, then that might change.
Of the Cole verse, then it's a lot closer.
I would agree with that.
I still think A Lot over Jermaine's Interlude.
Yes.
Oh God. I think I take Boblo Boat over Out of Sight, Out of Mind.
Yeah, definitely. He doesn't.
And I slightly take Off These over Night Job. So I guess I'm going one.
Are you taking?
I don't know because I love Pretty Little Fears.
I like Cole's verse on Knock the Hustle a lot.
But see, this is where it gets tricky for me because the verse is a big part of the song and how the song sounds as a song and the structure and
I think
I'm still going one, but it's really
no. I think we all agree it's one, but I think it's really
well. Close. And I didn't even take into consideration of how you thought about it, Bailey or Brian. Just the feature of Cole,
just Cole's verse,
not
what he
including the song. So I would say if you're thinking of just the whole song together, for me personally, one, it's not even close. And if you're talking the features, I think they're stacked up pretty evenly.
I think if anything, this says Cole is a very good feature artist he decides to go on feature runs. I mean, he did in London. We had a good run from him. But those two little fun Twitter things. I want to do that more when we have kind of down weeks like this week.
Speaking of Twitter things, Zach's questions.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we can do that quick. Okay, so my roommate, who is not as big into rap music as us, has no idea what we're talking about half the time. So what are you?
It's Haha Davis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he sent me some questions that we're gonna go through real quick. Let me pull them up here. So I'm just gonna run down here. One, what's a guilty pleasure song/artist that you have?
Oh, this is easy.
Now I don't know where you go. So now. You and I probably think the same thing.
This is easy.
I'm guessing you guys are saying Ariana Grande.
Yeah, but is that a guilty pleasure?
I don't think so.
What do you find as a guilty pleasure?
I don't know. I mean,
I guess to me a guilty pleasure is somebody that you probably shouldn't like. So in our case, Ariana Grande,
yeah.
But maybe in your case, it's I don't mean to offend Playboy Cardi, but somebody like that who's
so trap artist.
No, not all trap artists. That's unfair. But somebody that you probably shouldn't like, that's kind of ass. You know they're ass, but you still like them.
Let me think. Let me think about
kind
this.
Kind of like Logic's artist Silas. I don't like him, but that's an example.
How about just Logic anymore? Anyway.
I mean,
it was guilty pleasure / what?
Guilty pleasure song/artist.
Okay, let me actually think about this.
So while you think about that, I'll keep going through the questions.
Well, no, I can kind of say you guys probably don't even know this, but I like Blink-182 a lot. I guess it's kind of a guilty pleasure because I guess you could say I was kind of emo in high school.
Save that because he has another question. Let me just go through all the questions. We can kind of go in order. Two, have you ever listened to parody rap songs?
Yeah. Yo, hold on, real quick. Okay, so this is gonna get real sus for a bit. But do you guys remember what what's it called came out? Gummo by 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
So there's actually
I
you
know
exactly
what you're talking about.
You might not, but there's this YouTube channel. They literally make parodies of songs and make it gay.
Yes.
It is some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. You should actually go watch it.
So I will straight up just answer this question. I don't really listen to parody rap much. Like,
neither do I. That's
my
just what
closest thing. The thing I think of when I think of parody rap is I think of Lil Dicky.
Yeah.
Which we talked about, and that's kind of his lane. He does it really well.
I used to watch epic rap battles.
Yeah.
When I was younger.
See, none of that stuff really.
You know,
that's kind of
I did, but I just.
But you still listen to it though.
Sure. I've listened to parody raps before.
Yeah. So
some of them are funny.
It's not your. I mean, I don't think it's any of our thing. We would much rather listen to something with some substance.
Remember, Thrift Shop by Macklemore? People like made parodies of that all the time.
Yeah.
Let me keep going on this question list. Sorry, I'm
really trying to sit here and think of a guilty pleasure song. Like,
artists
is so hard.
Going off of the parody artists, do you feel that parody artists are able to have the same notoriety, and skills, or do you think they'll always be a few tiers below serious artists? Why or why not?
That's a good question.
I don't think skill-wise, I'll put somebody's skill down for doing parody rap.
Yeah,
because you still have to deliver.
That's a super hard talent to do.
But I think what I think about it is.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Even like the guy who made Al Krankovich, whatever his name is.
Oh yeah, Weird Al.
Weird Al. He did
Al Yankovic.
He did. What's it called? Amish Paradise.
Yeah, he did a whole bunch
on Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise. So I mean, there is a talent to it.
The way I think about it is, I think of them as rap comedians.
Yeah,
to an extent, meaning it's not that they aren't as talented as a Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
To be fair, nobody's
it's kind of hard.
Lamar, but like what they do in their pocket, in their section of parody rap, they're probably super talented at doing that.
Yeah.
Now, it gets weird when you compare them. It's like comparing a hockey player to a baseball player. They both play a sport, but they play different sports.
Mm-hmm. Like it's like for example, it's like you can't say like Wayne Gretzky is a better hockey player than Babe Ruth is a baseball player. Like it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they're not talented. They're definitely talented.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, there's an artistry to it. It's just a different artistry.
There's a reason why
it's very
like why you like they don't. Not everybody gets popular off of doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super hard to try and.
Go back to the guilty pleasure one. It's definitely Ariana Grande.
I mean, I can't think of anything else.
I followed. This is gonna get weird. Don't judge me.
No, I think I'm probably right there with you.
I followed a Twitter account. It's let me actually pull it up here.
Like
Bailey's gonna laugh at
Ari
me.
fan page.
It is literally called. No, this is my followers following. It is literally called Throwback AGB. It's just Ariana Grande throwback pictures. It'll be like 2 years ago from Ariana Grande's Instagram story. I follow this page.
Let me tell you what. That's dedication. That really is dedication. Because first off, who thinks?
To me, she's like super attractive.
Oh, absolutely.
So like, I just get to look at her more.
Absolutely. Listen. I'm right there with her. I'm right there with her.
That's just how it is.
That's not sus at all. I think that's perfectly okay. I mean, I think she's very attractive. She's a very good musician.
I'm literally scrolling down. And then Zach's last question is...
you can't transition off like that.
Because I was scrolling down, I was getting lost, all right? It could get scary. The last question he had was, outside of rap, what genres do you guys
Oh, this is a good
listen to?
This is a really good one.
I connect this back to Anderson .Paak a little bit because he's not really like rap, but he's associated, I guess. I guess I'll start because I'm talking. I like some rock. Like I like I like Rage Against the Machine. Now that has some rap in it. I like.
It does.
I like some like. Recently, I've been listening to like 70s like psychedelic shit, like pop, like stuff you'd hear in like Grand Theft Auto Vice City. That type of stuff. I love that. It probably comes from my love of the Weeknd.
Yep.
I don't know. I like some alternative. Like I can't sit here and say I have one band or artist of another genre I really fuck with heavy. Like I used to love Linkin Park, for example.
Oh, rest in peace.
But yeah. But I don't. What about you? I mean, you said Blink 182.
Go ahead,
listened to Metallica the other day.
I'll let you talk.
I might have the most like diverse.
No, you don't.
Maybe. I think we both are pretty diverse.
You two are definitely more diverse than me. I stay in my lane and I just kind of go all around that.
Besides rap, I listen to old country, so like Johnny Cash, Hank Williams Sr. I like oldies, kind of like.
Wait, who the fuck's Johnny Cash? Okay.
I was about to say, oldies, kind of like I'm drawing blanks on art, like Sam Cooke. Kind of like the Motown kind of music, doo-wop, things like that.
Ooh, I like listening to not to interrupt you. I like to listen to like classical jazz when I'm like writing.
Yeah, jazz is cool.
That's about the extent I have.
When I was in school and I'd study, I'd listen to lo-fi. So like that's different than you could throw that like.
I had an EDM phase in middle school, but I think everybody had.
Yeah, I did too. I used to listen to dubstep when I
was Skrillex.
See, you know what's funny is I never did. I never listened.
You never did.
I never listened to.
Cam and I got into that a little bit.
But the thing is because I had so much other stuff. I'll let Bailey continue talking
though. I listened to older rock, kind of like hair band kind of stuff, like Kiss.
80s shit.
AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Metallica. So I guess you can say some metal also. Mm-hmm. Newer bands, somewhat kind of like Breaking Benjamin. I've always really liked Breaking Benjamin.
They're super talented.
Yeah. What else? I mean, kind of like, I don't know if you would call it like pop punk or I want to call it punk, but just kind of like alternative. I don't even know if you call it alternative.
Who are you talking about?
Like Blink-182.
They're alternative.
Yeah,
they're like
Green
Offspring.
They might have started punk, but nowadays.
No, yeah.
They're more alternative.
Green Day.
God, is Green Day still making music?
I think.
I hope not.
I hope not, but maybe.
I remember listening to American Idiot when I was a kid.
I remember that
I liked
album.
them a lot.
That
they were
album
in
was super good.
Yeah.
That album was super good.
Kind of like those groups, Bowling for Soup.
Yep. Shout out Bowling.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah, that was really good. If you guys don't know, Jordan is like a world-renowned bowler. Not world-renowned, but street-renowned bowler. Like kind of bands like that. Like you said, like The Offspring. I'm trying to think of what else.
I like Rush.
Rush is good too.
Rat. I like Rat. They were talking about older rock, Rat. I guess you could say that's about it.
You have a wide variety. I'll give you that. What about you, Jordan?
Dude, my upbringing. See, well, the funny thing is, I didn't even start listening to rap until I was probably.
We got on in like high school,
like early high school, like
middle school.
Yeah. So
I started listening. I've been listening on
my childhood was all like 80s metal, 90s metal, 70s rock, 70s country, 70s pop, 60s, like all that. That's what my dad listens to. That's when I was a kid. That's all my dad listened to.
Shout out Pops.
And my mom, shout out my parents, obviously.
And moms.
And my mom was more like the not classic, but like today's age of like she likes the pop music and she likes like the Bee Gees and the Beatles and
my dad fucking loves the Bee Gees.
Dude, oh my god, my mom has their full like greatest hits deluxe album in her car. She plays that shit 24/7. I've been singing that shit with her.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But then like as the years have gone on, like my dad listened less to metal and that and a little bit more country, and then he got on this symphonic metal. Do you know what that is?
Fuck no.
Do you know what that is? Symphonic metal.
It's like symphony metal?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
You have to look it up and listen to this shit. It's a woman lead singer who has the ability to sing opera, who is then singing in front of a full metal band.
What the shit? Actually, sounds crazy.
Combination.
Dude,
maybe if I get drunk enough, I'll listen to it.
It's super weird, but like her ability to like sing opera, and then you just got like fucking drums just bashing in the background. It's actually really well put together. Some of it's not.
You know how about speaking of different music, how you like Omar guy to listen to Spanish music?
Oh my god, yeah! Shout out Omar. I know you're listening to this.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what. I love Spanish music. I'm gonna go out there and say it right now. I have no idea what they're saying. I can't understand Spanish at all, but the beats are amazing.
No,
that's all I have to say about that.
This is gonna sound really weird, but have you guys ever heard? I forget what their name is, but have you ever heard of like I don't remember what they're called, but there's like it's like I don't know if it's Japanese or Korean like metal, but it's like all these three girls. I forget what it's called, but like it sounds really weird.
I've never explored that part of the
internet. Well, I didn't try to. It just kind of happens after a while, but like it's really weird, but it just sounds catchy. I don't know, maybe it's just because like even like songs and like endings or openings of like different animes, like some of that stuff is just super catchy. I don't know what they're saying, and those, so like I can kind of like connect to what you're saying about Spanish music because you don't know what you're saying, but it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, and that's I think some like we judge music sometimes just basically off of how it sounds because
Well, that's fundamentally how you...
I have no fucking idea what the Spanish people are saying, dude. But listen, it sounds good, so it...
Yeah, exactly. Like...
Jordan hears Bentejo, and he's like, I know what that means.
Yeah.
I always said it'd be funny, like, when Jordan gets his own car, like... He'll have I could just see him having it tinted out lower. And he's just bumping like Bad Bunny or one of those guys.
Listen.
And like in the city, right? And then he just puts his window down and you
really
see
white
like a super white guy.
If I ever lowered my car and tinted my windows out, I wouldn't be sitting here in this room because my dad would kill me.
Fair enough.
My dad's a mechanic, for anybody that doesn't know. He's been a mechanic for years, and the amount of cars that he's worked on that he's had to raise because of people cutting their shocks poorly and stuff is...
Yeah, but yeah, shout out Zach for the questions. That kind of gives you an insight, at least to you two, because... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, selfless plug. Bailey, go ahead and plug us. You can give us questions, comments.
@_TNSP_ on Twitter.
Where are you going?
That was real. I'm just so hyped. That was a good one.
You just walked away from
I don't
the
care. That was a good one.
That was good. So you made up for ruining my transition earlier.
And if you didn't hear it, @_TNSP_
all caps.
Twitter. All caps.
Yes, sir. And we're also, we're not on the other social media. Never mind.
Well, no, actually, this would be a good point.
Since we're plugging shit, Patreon, follow us on Spotify, share us. That's all I got. Let's go into this final topic.
Wait, hold on 1 second, Brian. What was it again, Bailey?
@_TNSP_ oh wait, I almost said underscore twice. It's only one underscore.
So it's _TNSP_ Twitter.
I think they get it by now.
Follow us, just in case you didn't get it the first 2 times.
Now I want to say, if people are also wondering what all we're on, we're on Buzzsprout, we are on Spotify, SoundCloud, hopefully Apple Podcasts soon.
Apple Podcasts inevitably.
Yeah, YouTube, and YouTube. It's the same name for all of them, the Night Shift Podcast. So.
Yeah. So nobody wanted to throw me a hoop, but that's fine.
It's fine.
So
you had my.
We had it, and then we just kind of got sidetracked. But that's fine. That's okay. My oop game hasn't been awful on this podcast. Apparently, you guys are like, I'm like the fucking role player here. Like, I'll just be dishing it to y'all, and y'all be doing your thing, and I just be sitting here like, all right, well, good job, guys. I don't
like
do
Curry
shit
from the 3-point line.
But I don't know about that. But so J. Cole released a new song last week, out of nowhere. It was titled "Snow on the Bluff." Bailey, do me a favor, pull up Rap Genius, pull up the lyrics, because we have to talk about this a little bit at least.
We'll talk about this.
So
I'm gonna pull them up too, just because I want to see them too.
Very quick, dumbed down Brian version of this song. So J. Cole released it last Wednesday, like I said. It's just not a one-off single. I don't think it's anything to do with the album, of course. Talking about the times, obviously social injustice, racism. Kind of what people are expecting from somebody like a J. Cole or a Kendrick or anybody that has fame, celebrity, a big platform. That's kind of what he's addressing. So, hi Harrison. Shout out Harrison. That's my roommate. He does shit for the Sixers. Go follow him too. You're welcome. You got a shout out. So anyway, J. Cole released the song, and it was quickly, people decided that, hey, he was talking about Noname, who is another rapper, I guess she's really not she's a rapper, but she's more, I would say, more of an activist now.
Yes.
So Noname had a tweet. I don't have it on hand. I wish I did.
I'll pull it up for you. Hold on.
If you can find it.
Yep.
But basically the gist of it was, she was calling out, and correct me if you guys think I'm misinterpreting this wrong. She called out black artists, and rappers in particular that rap and made money off of rapping about the black man's struggle or the black plight, is what I've been seeing the word go around a lot. And making money off of this, but when things like this happen, they're not.
So pretty much she was talking about Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. Those are the two most prominent rappers talking about, who talks about African American struggles more than those two?
Yeah, but here's where my issues start already. So she's saying, she never named any names, she didn't say anybody, but Cole then goes in the song and addresses this tweet. He says in the song how he thinks it's about him, or at least it was towards him.
Yeah, you felt like it was pointed towards him.
So he goes on to, in the verse, say about, good luck finding that tweet. You're not going to. He goes on to say about how
fuck that.
Noname is more educated than he is on the topic, but his issue, I don't even call it an issue because this is not. Now speaking as 3 white guys who have never had to face racism in America. I don't want to like put down black women or black men in any sense. Just looking at it strictly from a lyric perspective and what I think about it. I think Cole is saying that what Noname is saying is good and that he wants her help to learn more about what's going on. But he's saying the way she goes about saying it and about how she can be very brash isn't the right word, but
no,
like,
but I think I think brash is a fantastic word.
I don't even want to say holier than now,
but I think
brash
it
kind of has that feel to it.
I think brash is a fantastic way of putting it.
So he goes on to say So this is where the problem. I'll open up the discussion. I just want to finish with this. This is where people's problems were. People's problem with it, and after being removed from the song a little bit, we talked about it a lot at work and everything. But I think people's problem with the song is that he chose the time now, with everything that's going on in the world, to address how and what Noname said and how she said it. That's the key thing. How. He wants her to be less, like he says in the song, he wants, if you talk to people like children, and give them that love and affection kind of that a child needs, maybe the point will come across a little bit better than how she's saying it. Now, I'm not going to say how anybody should say their message or anything, but I think that's where the issue comes up, and I don't think it truly is. It's definitely not an attack. It's not a diss. It's not any of that. Yeah, go ahead. Now that I kind of gave a gist, if you didn't hear the song. If you didn't hear the song, go listen to it, because I think it's a great song.
I mean, I do too. I really liked it.
But what do you guys think? Because
I mean, I think pretty much Cole's like saying that, because he says something about how, you can tell she's well educated and that her parents passed on a lot of things to her. And I mean, is Noname, how do I say this? So it's like, Noname, I mean, I think abrasive is a perfect word. She is brash and she's just going to say what's on her mind and she doesn't care what anyone thinks. So, I mean, the thing is Cole couldn't have gone around about this in a more respectful manner. Like, everybody is literally mad that he talks about her tone.
You said he couldn't have been more respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he compliments her the whole time.
He calls her this queen. He calls her a queen.
Yeah, the only thing he criticizes is her tone.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair,
it's not like he was trying to be mean or saying.
But I think his point is fair because she comes across very snobby. She comes across
the holier than thou.
Yeah. She comes across very much that she's better than everybody that she's talking about. And I think he has every reason to be like, look, you're smart, but you need to display your message or portray or whatever you want to say. Put your message across better to the people.
Yeah, it's like you want the people to change their ways and whatnot, right? So it's not necessarily her job to educate people.
No,
but she shouldn't.
No, but if you're gonna sit at the same,
if you're gonna sit here and try to preach, you can't just like say do your own research.
And if somebody checks how you say it,
because doesn't he say something in here about how, like, kind of not like an echo chamber, but you're just preaching to people who feel the same way as you do.
I literally was sitting here looking for that part, and I don't know exactly how he says it.
And he's true. He's like, and this is a case in so many different things in the world. Everybody loves an echo chamber, but nobody likes dialogue.
Right.
So
nobody wants to listen.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you know, most of the people who follow you and comment talking about Noname agree with you. You know what I mean? And know what you know or that and whatnot. So, and are you doing a good thing by, getting your message out there and saying what you believe in? Yeah, there's no problem with that. But, I mean, then again, if you're going to try to, not try, because I don't want to say she's not, but when you're going to be an activist or, whatever she wants to call herself.
She is.
Yeah. And then you want people to educate themselves. They are obviously going to see you as a person who can educate because you seem knowledgeable on the topic, and then you want to get mad, like, don't expect me just because I'm smart and I'm a black woman that I have to educate you. Well, then don't be mad if people don't understand, because, like, especially for like people like us in hip hop, like, Noname would be a perfect person to hear about this stuff.
I must have missed this because I'm sitting here reading the lyrics on rap genius. And he does take a shot, which I wouldn't even say is a diss because it's true. But he says, fuck is the point of you preaching your message to those who already believe in what you
exactly.
believe?
He's like, what's the point of the echo chamber?
Right. And that's really... I don't even know what the word I'm looking for. It's reinforcing your message completely.
Yeah, I mean... I don't know. He also says about how like they come from different walks of life too.
Yeah.
Like Cole didn't come from the best of places, and Noname maybe didn't have to go through the same struggles. I don't know. It's just weird because like again we're white, so I mean we can still have an opinion on it hip hop wise, but when you get into the political shit and you can't really relate to all of that. But then going off of the song, and then Noname actually replied with a song.
What is it called? Room 33?
Of her own, which I just read on the Genius homepage that she actually came out and said she regretted.
Yeah, damn it, Brian.
So that was actually news to me because if you go look at her song, she killed it.
Oh yeah.
But that made it. My problem is if you sit here and say Cole shouldn't have made this song about her and what.
There's no problem with Noname making the song.
No, but here's what I'm saying is. If you have a problem with Cole making what he made and putting it out at the time he did, with everything going on, you want to talk about Noname. With everything going on, Noname felt like she needed to make a response to Cole's song, which makes it feel more of a beef than what it actually is. Yeah. So I think her coming out and saying she regrets it kind of shows that why the fuck are two wonderful black people, artists, why are they going at each other with everything else going around? I think that's what the point came out there. But I don't know. I guess I get the criticism of Cole, but it's not like Cole's one of these flashy dudes. Like
it's not like Cole hasn't been protesting all these years.
Well, but like Cole wouldn't purposely, he's not doing something. At least he strikes me as a person. I've never.
He's not going to do something for money.
But yeah, he's not going to do something for personal gain. He's going to be. I just thought he was completely honest with the song.
I mean, maybe he wanted to put it out just because he felt and it was the right time. Because we're sitting here talking about how Noname feels like it's the wrong time to do it. But I mean, he could also be saying it is the perfect time because people are looking to educate themselves.
Yeah, and Noname does have she has like a book club that she does that has books that educate about. Mm-hmm. Black history and everything, which I think is fantastic. And it's just, sometimes it doesn't matter. The message is going to be lost depending on how you
cancel culture just does whatever they want.
Well, that too. But I think they do have some of the points are fair. I'm not saying it's not, but like people are like, oh fuck J. Cole. Like, man, this is J. Cole.
And then people mad at Noname for responding. Like, did she have to? No. Could have escalated things slightly? Yes. But like, she has a right to respond. It should be left at these two songs. Unless they want to
it's not going to go anything.
Unless they want to have a further dialogue like Lil Pump and J. Cole did, which I think would be really cool.
I guess the perfect example of why Cole doesn't just say fuck people.
Yeah.
He sits down and talks to them. Mm-hmm. Lil Pump said had people chanting fuck J. Cole at shows. Mm-hmm. And J. Cole said instead of J. Cole could have completely destroyed the kid. You know what I mean? Like he could have made a sick diss track and just ended him. But no, he sat down and had a full-hour interview.
And it's not it's not like Noname and J. Cole haven't made music before. It's not like they're not friends.
It's not beef. It truly isn't beef, and I hate how people are making it seem to be.
The people made it beef. These two didn't.
No, I agree.
Did it. It was hip hop, Twitter, and just everybody who kind of like is involved in the hip hop community.
Well, sorry, I was sitting here reading it again while you guys were talking. You were talking about J. Cole being modest. He said at the very end of the song. I'm not going to say it word for word, but I'll just summarize. He's talking about releasing the song and how his songs that he's releases are getting him this fame. He says about how he has zeros next to the commas. But then he was walking to a store the other day and he had somebody ask him, or he said to him, thanks for everything you've been doing. It's really helped me. And he's sitting here thinking in his head, well, am I doing enough? That's the last part he says.
Because he says, but damn, do I feel faker than snow on the bluff?
Right.
Which is, I think, a movie or something.
Yeah. And then he says, well, maybe because deep down I know I'm not doing enough.
Yeah.
And that just comes to, like, people are constantly dealing with,
And then to go off, not to interrupt your train of thought, go off that, the outro there, he's saying about how I was once a child, I've gotten older, still I know I'm just a boy in God's eyes. Fill me up with wisdom and some courage, plus endurance to survive, help mine thrive. Help mine thrive, I think, refers to African Americans who came up in the same environment. Yep. It's a very majority of African Americans that come up in not the best environments, but they don't know any. You know what I mean? They don't get the all of us, not just race aside, like get proper education on this shit.
Yeah. I mean, even the people, not even just like in general. Like, I just don't think people in general get proper education across the board.
Well, yeah, because public schooling is not the best, and it's better in richer spots, and that's just a whole nother conversation for another day. But it plays into weaker, poor areas are going to have poor public education. As sad as that is, it's the sad reality we live in.
That's why all schooling should just be private school.
Yeah, but that costs a lot of money and shit. And
I don't think you want private schools, but that's beside the point. That's another topic again for another day.
Yeah, I was kind of confused why this was made out to be a beef, and it isn't.
People like to watch people fight.
Yeah, and that's why I said people need to get outside. Quarantine needs to end because, I don't think this would be as big of a deal if people weren't just inside on Twitter the whole day. I don't think this has anything to do with the album.
No, this was just a one-off. I will say, though, it's crazy how Cole can drop just one single and the whole timeline just is in disarray.
Well, I think it was in disarray for different reasons.
Well, I think
Cole
it's just like Cole. Well, even when Middle Child dropped, no one expected that.
Well, yeah, him dropping a surprise song, of course, is going to get some stir. But this whole conversation being with it is also, you ask a lot, or you look at a lot of things, people are going to say he's in the news for the wrong reason here.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, but I don't know for a guy like J. Cole who has so much goodwill. Not that this hurts him. I don't think it hurts him, but I don't know. It's interesting. I'd like to hear other perspectives on that because, outside of us, because I've been talking to you guys about it all the time. So, yeah. Looking forward to the Cole album.
Yeah.
So
hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later, but
it should be. I think it'll be around election time.
Hopefully, yeah.
I think it'll be around election time. Hopefully him and Kendrick are close too. So, you guys have anything else to say about that?
That's all I have on the topic.
I do not have anything else to say about it. Well, I think we've put our points.
Yeah, I think we did well. A little bit shorter this week. Not by much. We're at an hour 11, so.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This has been the Night Shift Podcast, episode 4. Again, @_TNSP_ on Twitter. The Night Shift on Patreon, the Night Shift on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, soon to be Apple Podcasts. We're
Buzzsprout.
What?
Buzzsprout.
Oh yeah, Buzzsprout. I don't know if you ever heard of that until today, but hey, if you did, there you go. So yeah, episode 4 it'll be up tomorrow, and tomorrow being Tuesday, so it'll be up today because people are listening to it when it gets posted. So then it'll be today, so Tuesday, but tomorrow, just forget it. So yeah, episode 4, thank you for listening. Again, share, feedback, questions, all that good shit, and be easy.